The wind howled across the frost-covered fields of Willow Creek, Nebraska, as 16-year-old Ellie Harper trudged through the snow, her boots sinking into the icy slush, her breath puffed out in clouds, her scarf pulled tight against the biting cold. She was alone, her backpack slung over one shoulder, her eyes fixed on the ground. But in the distance, the low hum of a pickup truck grew louder, its headlights cutting through the dusk like predators' eyes. Ellie's heart sank. She knew that sound. She knew who was coming, and she knew this wasn't going to end well. Welcome to our channel, where we dive into stories that'll grip your heart and blow your mind. Hit that subscribe button and join us for this wild ride. Because what happened next in Willow Creek would turn a quiet farm girl's life upside down and send shockwaves through an entire town. Ellie wasn't like the other kids at Willow Creek High. She wasn't loud or flashy, didn't post selfies on social media, didn't chase popularity. She was the girl who kept her head down, her auburn hair tucked under a worn knit cap, her hands calloused from baling hay on her family's farm. Her classmates called her Farm Girl, like it was an insult, but Ellie wore it like armor. She loved the land, the quiet of the fields, the way the sunrise painted the sky in hues of gold and pink. Her world was simple: school, chores, and the occasional book she'd borrow from the library. But simplicity doesn't shield you from cruelty, and in a small town like Willow Creek, cruelty had a way of finding the quiet ones. It started small, the way these things often do. A snicker in the hallway when Ellie walked by in her scuffed work boots. A whispered loser from a cheerleader named Kaylee Summers, whose glossy blonde hair and designer jeans made her the queen of the junior class. Kaylee ruled Willow Creek High with a smile that could cut glass, and she had a knack for sniffing out weakness. Ellie, with her patched jacket and soft-spoken ways, was an easy target. By sophomore year, Kaylee had assembled a pack. Her boyfriend, Jake, a linebacker with a smirk as sharp as his tackle; Maya, her best friend, who filmed every prank for her thousands of TikTok followers; and a rotating cast of hangers on who'd do anything for a nod from Kaylee. They called themselves the Creek Crew, and to them, Ellie was sport. The harassment began with notes slipped into Ellie's locker, crude drawings, insults about her clothes, her family's dirt-poor farm. Then it escalated: gum in her hair during biology class, her lunch tray, accidentally, knocked to the cafeteria floor, applesauce splattering her jeans as the room erupted in laughter. Ellie never fought back. She'd clench her fists, her green eyes burning, but she'd swallow the hurt and keep moving. Her mom, Sarah, had taught her that. Keep your head high, don't let them see you break. But Sarah had passed away 2 years earlier, a car accident that left Ellie and her dad, Tom, alone on the farm. Tom was a quiet man, a widower who worked long hours and spoke little, but he loved Ellie fiercely. She was his world, even if he didn't always know how to show it. By junior year, the Creek Crew's torment grew bolder. Kaylee, emboldened by her growing online following, decided Ellie's silence was a challenge. "She thinks she's better than us," Kaylee would say, tossing her hair as Mia filmed her rants. "Little Miss Farm Girl, too good to talk, too good to party." The truth was, Ellie didn't think she was better. She just didn't care about their world of keg parties and popularity contests. But to Kaylee, Ellie's quiet was defiance, and defiance demanded punishment. One October afternoon, as the leaves turned crimson and gold, Kaylee crossed a line that would change everything. Ellie was walking home from the bus stop, a 3-mile trek along a lonely county road. The air was crisp, the sky heavy with the promise of snow. She heard the rumble of Jake's pickup before she saw it, the bass of some rap song thumping through the rolled-down windows. Her stomach twisted, but she kept walking, her pace steady. The truck slowed beside her, gravel crunching under its tires. Kaylee leaned out the passenger window, her phone in hand, already recording. "Hey, farm girl," she called, her voice dripping with mockery. "Where's your tractor?" "Too poor to afford one." Jake laughed, revving the engine. Mia, in the back seat, zoomed in on Ellie's face, waiting for a reaction. Ellie didn't give them one. She kept her eyes forward, her jaw tight, her boots crunching on the road. That's when Kaylee upped the ante. "You know what, Ellie? You're not just poor, you're pathetic. No mom, no friends, just you and your loser dad on that dump of a farm." The words hit like a punch, but Ellie didn't flinch. She couldn't. Not in front of them. Jake swerved the truck closer, the bumper inches from her hip. "Come on, say something," he taunted. Or are you too dumb to talk? Ellie's hands shook, but she kept walking, her heart pounding so loud she thought they'd hear it. Mia giggled, her phone still rolling. This is gold, she said. 10,000 views? Easy. They followed her for a mile, jeering, swerving, filming until finally, bored, they sped off, leaving Ellie alone in a cloud of dust. That night, Ellie sat in her bedroom, a small space with peeling wallpaper and a single window overlooking the fields. She stared at her phone, the video already posted on TikTok, racking up likes and comments. Farm girl gets owned, the caption read. The comments were worse. Insults about her looks, her clothes, her life. Ellie's chest ached, not just from the video but from the weight of carrying it all alone. She thought about her mom, how Sarah would have known what to say, how to make it hurt less. But Sarah was gone and Tom was out fixing a fence in the dark, as he often did when the grief got too heavy. Ellie didn't cry. She hadn't cried since the funeral. Instead, she picked up her phone and dialed a number she hadn't called in months. "Dad," she said when he answered, her voice steady but soft. "I need you to come home. Something happened." Tom's voice, gruff and tired, came through the line. "You okay, Ellie?" She hesitated, then said no, not really. There was a pause, the kind that carried years of unspoken pain. "I'm on my way," Tom said. What Ellie didn't know, what no one in Willow Creek knew, was that Tom Harper wasn't just a farmer. He was a man with a past that was about to collide with the present in a way that would leave the town reeling. Tom Harper hadn't always lived in Willow Creek. 20 years ago, he'd been Special Agent Thomas Harper, a rising star in the FBI's Chicago field office. He'd taken down mob bosses, busted trafficking rings, and earned a reputation for being relentless. But when he met Sarah, a schoolteacher with a laugh that could light up a room, he wanted out. He wanted a life where his daughter could grow up safe, far from the violence he'd seen. So he retired, moved to Nebraska, and bought a small farm. He told no one about his past, not the townsfolk, not even Ellie. To Willow Creek, he was just Tom, the quiet widower who kept to himself. But the skills, the contacts, the authority, they never went away. And when Ellie called him that night, something in her voice woke the old Tom Harper, the one who didn't let threats slide. When Tom got home, Ellie showed him the video. She didn't need to say much, her eyes told him everything. Tom watched in silence, his jaw tightening as Kaylee's voice mocked his daughter, as Jakey's truck veered too close, as Maya's laughter rang out. When the video ended, he looked at Ellie. His voice low but steady. "This ends now," he said. Ellie nodded, not sure what he meant but trusting him completely. Tom stepped outside, his phone already in hand, dialing a number he hadn't used in years. "Agent Caldwell," he said when the call connected. "It's Harper. I need a favor." The next morning, Willow Creek High buzzed with its usual chaos. Lockers slamming, kids shouting, the smell of burnt coffee from the teacher's lounge. Kaylee strutted through the halls, her phone glued to her hand, basking in the glow of her viral video. Jake trailed behind her, high-fiving his teammates, while Mia scrolled through comments, reading the cruelest ones aloud. They didn't notice the black SUV parked across the street from the school, its tinted windows hiding two men in suits. They didn't notice the principal, Mr. Dawson, looking pale as he answered a call in his office. And they definitely didn't notice Ellie, sitting quietly in the library, her backpack at her feet, her expression unreadable. By lunchtime, the mood in the school had shifted. Whispers spread like wildfire the FBI was here. Not local police, not the sheriff, the FBI. Kaylee laughed it off at first, tossing her hair as she sat at her usual table. "Probably some drug bust," she said, popping a fry into her mouth. But when Mr. Dawson appeared at the cafeteria door, flanked by two agents in dark suits, the room fell silent. "Kaylee Summers, Jake Larson, Mia Torres," the principal called, his voice shaking. "Come with me." Kaylee's smile faltered. Jake's smirk vanished. Mia's phone slipped from her hand, clattering to the table. In the principal's office, the agents didn't waste time. Agent Caldwell, a tall man with a face like stone, laid out a folder thick with papers. "Cyberbullying, harassment, and reckless endangerment," he said, his voice clipped. "You've been documented targeting Ellie Harper for months. The video from yesterday, that's evidence of stalking and intimidation. You're looking at serious charges." Kaylee's mouth opened, but no words came out. Jake stammered. "It was just a joke." Mia burst into tears, mumbling about her followers. But Caldwell wasn't done. You also filmed and posted a minor without consent across state lines, which makes this a federal matter. And that's before we get to the threats. The room spun for Kaylee. Threats? What threats? She'd never said anything about hurting Ellie, not really. But the agents had screenshots, comments from Jake's burner account promising to make farm girl pay, text from Mia's phone joking about slashing Ellie's tires, and a voice message from Kaylee herself sent to a group chat saying, "I swear, I'll make her wish she never came to this school." It wasn't just a prank anymore. It was evidence. Evidence that Tom Harper's old colleagues had spent the night pulling from servers, cloud accounts, and deleted files using tools the Creek crew couldn't even dream of. Back at the farm, Ellie sat on the porch, watching the sun dip below the horizon. Tom joined her, his work boots creaking on the wooden steps. "They won't bother you again," he said simply. Ellie looked at him, her eyes searching his face. "Who are you?" "Dad," she asked, half joking, half serious. Tom chuckled, but there was a weight to it. "Just a guy who loves his daughter," he said. But Ellie wasn't a kid anymore. She'd seen the SUV, heard the whispers at school. She knew there was more to her dad than the flannel shirts and the tractor. For the first time, she felt the shadow of his past, and it made her feel safe. The fallout was swift. Kaylee's parents, mortified, pulled her from school and sent her to a private academy out of state. Jake lost his football scholarship, his dreams of college ball crushed under the weight of a federal investigation. Maya's TikTok account was suspended, her followers gone overnight. The Creek crew was no more. Willow Creek buzzed with rumors about Tom, about Ellie, about the black SUVs that had rolled into town and left just as quickly. Some said Tom was a retired spy. Others swore he was in witness protection. The truth was simpler, but no one dared ask. Ellie went back to school, her head still down, her boots still scuffed. But something had changed. The whispers weren't cruel anymore. They were cautious, almost reverent. She wasn't just farm girl now. She was Ellie Harper, the girl whose dad could make the FBI show up with one call. She didn't flaunt it, didn't need to. She had her fields, her books, her quiet strength. And she had Tom, who'd reminded her that she was never as alone as she'd felt. As winter settled over Willow Creek, Ellie stood in the barn, brushing her horse Daisy, the rhythmic motion soothing her. She thought about her mom, about the video, about the agents who'd turned her world upside down. She thought about Kaylee, Jake, and Mia, who'd probably never know how close they'd come to real consequences. And she thought about her dad, the man who'd walked away from power to give her a simple life, but who'd wielded that power one last time to protect her. For the first time in years, Ellie smiled, a real smile, not the kind she faked to get through the day. She was still the quiet farm girl, but she was something else now too. She was unbreakable. The camera pans out, the field stretching endless under a starlit sky, the soft hum of crickets filling the air. The story of Ellie Harper isn't just about bullies getting their comeuppance. It's about resilience, about the love between a father and daughter, about the quiet strength that lies in those who don't need to shout to be heard. So, tell us in the comments, from which part of the country are you watching this video? Let us know. And if you loved this story, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay strong and keep shining.